Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a Spain news update, and the topic of whether or not Spain should send weapons to the Ukraine bilaterally has become a hot political topic, but more about that in just a moment. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that left comments on the last video. Lots of comments, lots of debate happening there as usual. Thanks to people that supported the channel through a donation or by buying me a beer or a coffee. Many thanks for that. Thanks to people that bought merchandise, and a big thanks to my patrons on Patreon for your ongoing support of this channel. Now, let's get into the news, and as I said, the big question here is, should Spain or shouldn't Spain send weapons bilaterally to the Ukraine? And as we can see here, Spain will only send arms to the Ukraine if it is through centralized EU procurement. The Spanish government continues to reject sending offensive weapons bilaterally to Ukraine. Of the European countries, only Hungary maintains a similar position to Spain's. The decision is firm and agreed with the coalition partners, with whom, according to Moncloa, there is a single voice in this decision. The argument put forward by the government is that it will contribute to the provision of military weapons to deal with the Russian invasion of Ukraine only if the European Union makes a centralized purchase. However, this Tuesday, the government spokesperson Isabel Rodriguez argued at a press conference in Moncloa after the Council of Ministers that Spain is going to send arms directly to Ukraine. We will do so within the European Fund for Peace, she explained. So will Spain or won't Spain send weapons bilaterally to Ukraine? The government has said previously that they won't send them directly and that the coalition government is united in its decision, but the spokesperson said yesterday that they will send weapons directly but through the European Union. So another mixed message coming from the government on this issue. Nothing surprising about that. However, the main opposition party, the Partido Popular, seems clearer on its stance, and they see it as immoral that Sanchez is not sending arms to Ukraine because he is looking at Podemos. The Secretary General for International Affairs of the Popular Party, Valentina Martinez, has described as immoral the decision of the president of the government, Pedro Sanchez, not to send arms directly to Ukraine to defend itself against the Russian invasion, and believes that he is doing so in order not to go against his Podemos partners. It's absolutely immoral that while the Ukrainian people are literally risking their lives in the streets to defend their country, Sanchez is looking to Podemos, and that this prevents him from making an important decision in these crucial hours to give them the means to defend themselves, Martinez stressed in statements to Europa Press a day after the Prime Minister ruled out sending arms directly. So, there we go. According to the main opposition party here, the Partido Popular, it's immoral that the Sanchez government is not sending weapons directly to Ukraine. Now, one thing that the government here is doing is sending more troops to the area. As we can see, Spain to send 150 reinforcement troops to Latvia. Spain will send 150 additional troops to Latvia as part of a wider NATO build-up in the Baltic region following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Spanish Defense Ministry said on Tuesday. Spain, which already has 350 troops in the alliance's Enhanced Forward Presence battle group in Latvia, is increasing the number in line with the NATO response plans to preserve peace and security after the invasion. The size of NATO battle groups in Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia, once ruled from Moscow but now part of the European Union, are set to almost double from 3,400 troops at the start of the year to more than 6,000 in the near future. Spain will send a field artillery unit, an engineering unit, and logistical support personnel, the ministry said. Some more Spanish troops, 150 of them, packing their bags and on their way to Latvia. Now, we all know that the European Union has imposed sanctions on Russia and sanctions on Russian oligarchs that do business in the European Union. And Spain's biggest Russian investor is not happy about that, because as we can see, the largest Russian investor in Spain and owner of the Dia supermarket chain will challenge EU sanctions as unfair. Russian tycoons Mikhail Friedman and Peter Aven will challenge EU sanctions imposed in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as unfair and based on malicious and deliberate falsehoods, while claiming to be deeply disappointed with Brussels' decision and rejecting ties to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Both investors have been blacklisted by the European Commission to impose sanctions and embargoes on Russian investors and assets. It should be remembered that Mikhail Friedman is the largest Russian investor in our country, being in fact the owner of the Dia supermarket group, which he has been managing since 2019 through his investment fund Letter One, based in Luxembourg. So Russian tycoons not happy and calling the EU sanctions unfair and based on malicious and deliberate falsehoods. Now there's some good news for people that are unvaccinated against COVID-19, have passed the virus recently and want to come to Spain on holidays. Because as we can see here, Spain agrees to accept COVID-19 recovery certificates. Spain has reversed plans to prevent international travellers using COVID-19 recovery certificates to enter the country. The European Union had proposed the move to a system based on individuals rather than country of origin, with vaccination or recovery status used to permit entry. The Spanish government was reportedly going to reject the plans and insist on full vaccination for all visitors, but that hurdle has been removed according to updated Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Travel Office advice issued on Monday. It said travellers can now enter Spain by presenting documentation that certifies they have recovered from COVID-19 infection in the last 6 months. So slowly, the times they are changing when it comes to the entry requirements for people wanting to come to this country on holiday. And no doubt it will become even easier the further we get into the year. Now let's have a look at a summary of the health situation in Spain, and we can see the accumulated incidence rate countrywide now down to 515. Hospital pressure is currently sitting at 5.2% and ICU pressure currently at 10.5%. However, COVID-related deaths remain high, with 473 reported over the weekend. Now another high-profile British fugitive has been arrested in Spain, and this time it's a woman described as one of the UK's most wanted tax fugitives. A convicted British money launderer wanted for her role in a $1 billion mobile phone tax scam has been arrested by Spanish police after spending almost 9 years on the run. Sarah Panitsky, 47, described by HM Revenue and Customs as one of the UK's most wanted tax fugitives, was arrested by plainclothes Guardia Civil officers while out walking her dogs on Sunday in the Catalan town of Santa Barbara. She was part of a 16-strong gang that bought mobile phones abroad without VAT, then resold them in the UK. She disappeared in May 2013 while on trial for money laundering offences, but was convicted and sentenced in her absence to 8 years in prison. So British fugitives' fascination with this country continues. One of the UK's biggest tax criminals out walking her dogs in Catalonia when she was nabbed by the Guardia Civil. Now let's have a look at some of the comments from previous videos. One here from Richard. A friend asked his doctor for a COVID recovery certificate. The doctor refused. He did obtain one at a cost of £140. Yeah, Richard, thanks for the comment, and I saw a few comments from other people saying that it's not easy to get one of these COVID recovery certificates in the UK, and then I saw another comment from somebody saying that it is easy and that it's in your NHS app. So difficult for some, easy for others, and to be honest, I'm confused. Here in Spain, if you get COVID and you report it to the authorities, it is also added to your health app. So I imagine the problem a lot of people have is that they get COVID, self-test, and don't report it to the authorities, and therefore can't get a recovery certificate. And without one, if you are not vaccinated, you can't come to Spain on holidays. One here from John. There's an actual conspiracy idea that Finland does not exist. I don't get it. Why don't you just buy a plane ticket to Helsinki and investigate it for yourself before you shitpost your insane ideas? Yeah, John, thanks for the comment, and a valuable piece of advice for conspiracy theorists that don't believe that the country Finland exists. Hop on a plane, visit the country, and find out for yourself before you put your rubbish ideas on the internet. And funnily enough, I also read that there's another conspiracy theory that says that Australia doesn't exist either. And when I first found out about that conspiracy theory, my whole life was turned upside down, and I actually questioned my own existence. One here from Michelle. I have an Irish passport and moving to Spain. Is there a limit to my stay? Will I need to apply for residency, Stu? Michelle from Derry in Northern Ireland. Yeah, Michelle, thanks for the comment, and I'm not 100% sure on the amount of time you can spend here in Spain before you need to apply for residency, but I think it's 3 months. But the good thing for you, being an EU citizen, is that it's a very easy process. I think all you need to do is get an appointment at the local police station that handles this type of thing and fill out the correct documents. And you might also need to register at the local town hall before you make the appointment with the police. But as I said, not 100% sure, but I'm sure there are people in the comment section that can help you out. So please, if you have any advice for Michelle, leave it in the comment section below. One here from Peter. About time the Spanish government realised that the people of Spain like and depend on us Brits. Nobody spends guys like us. And a similar comment here from Andrew, it's the British that spend money in bars and restaurants. I know owners that have pubs and food outlets, and they make 2 to 3 times the profit from the British compared to how much money the average Germans, Dutch, Swedish holidaymaker spends. At the end of the summer season, holidaymakers from Poland and Russia, etc., go all inclusive and spend almost nothing for 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe they might buy one coffee and sit outside a cafe for hours. Yeah guys, thanks for the comment, and there you go. According to you, the Brits are the real big spenders when it comes to tourism here in Spain. The Germans, the Dutch and the Swedes spend less, and the Russians and Poles are really tight. And this conversation has come about after a couple of things that I mentioned yesterday. I said in yesterday's video that the Costa del Sol Tourism Board is starting to look for other holiday makers, people from other countries, to take the dependence away from British tourism. They're going to start to target the French market, the German market and the Scandinavian market to fill the gap that has been left by the British. And I also said yesterday that maybe places like Benidorm should do something similar. But if the British do spend as much money as you guys say, it's going to be a tough void to fill. And finally, one here from Gabriela. Hola Stu, I'm flying to Spain tomorrow. Finally! Muchas gracias por su trabajo diario. Y Gabriela, thanks for the comment, pero por favor, tutéame. And good luck with your trip to Spain today. I hope everything goes well, and I hope you enjoy it. And remember to keep us up to date in the comment section. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.